All right, everyone. Welcome back to Hoop to Holler with Dylan and Walrus, aka the B-Ball Study Hall. What's going on, Dylan? How you doing?
We're good, Wally. We're just counting that B-ball study hall counting down to Christmas. The walrus, the Walry, the Germanic Walry has a countdown on his classroom wall where he's just kicking it down. And we were saying the best three things about teaching. Don't tell your students this. June, July, and August. And Walrus, show them your shirt because I love what you're sporting there. Han Solo, not too shabby, quarter Jew, amazing. Yeah, best shirt I've
Happy
seen in 2025.
Hanukkah.
Yeah, Hanukkah. Very, very
There
good.
you go.
Not too shabby. How are you
Yeah.
doing, Walrus? The flow is
I'm
looking sharp. I lost mine, but how are you doing?
Thank you, man. I'm doing all right. I was just telling you, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get shorn this weekend because
Sure.
it's getting a little wily over here. I'm doing all right, man. I'm really enjoying this NBA Cup action. We're gonna go ahead and chat about that. And
Been
we of
great.
course now have a finals
We do.
matchup.
Tuesday.
And I must say, you called it.
Hmm.
You called it, man.
Pure luck.
You called
Pure
it
luck.
on the
Walster.
record.
Yeah, pure luck. Walster Yeah, no,
So
no.
let's maybe briefly before because I definitely want to talk about the matchup, but let's talk about those two games. So first off,
Yeah.
you had Knicks Magic. What a game,
Yeah, it's good.
and I got a stat for us. You're usually the stat man on these, but I got a stat for us.
Good.
First
Bring it.
game this year where you had two guys with 25 points apiece in the first half, and that was
Yeah.
Brunson and
Yeah.
Suggs.
That was Jalen versus
Jalen
Jalen prime.
Suggs,
Yeah.
man.
Jalen
You
versus
know
Jalen
what?
prime. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't make that connection. You're
That
right
that
about
was the
Jalen
that was
Prime.
the meme I did was like somewhere Jalen Rose is just smiling watching his namesake because like I think there is something about was he the first Jalen and then all this
Sure.
secondary naming of the name Jalen from I don't
Yeah.
think he actually
As
was,
far
but
as I
yeah,
know,
Suggs when healthy, dude, he's the real deal.
good
What'd you
player.
think? Yeah,
I thought it was a really good game. The Magic, that's a real team.
yeah,
Desmond Bain, I think, is definitely, at least at the moment, the guy in that team. I think Bankero, they're going to need him to pick it up if
yeah.
they're going to be, a real threat. But yeah, man, they showed out. But yeah, those Knicks, Jalen Brunson, that particular Jalen, that dude, he, the guy can just flat out ball, man. He's a flat out scorer, and the pieces around him are very complimentary. So, that's
You're feeling good there, huh?
that I'm feeling, as far as that team in the East right now, I think, if health obviously has to be with them. Um, Magic definitely made some noise in this NBA Cup, but yeah, I think the Knicks right now are the team to beat in the East. But yeah, overall, what did you think of that game? I thought it was a great game.
Yeah, it was my I was kind of excited to see it because it was my Eastern Conference back in July. This is who I had going to the Eastern Conference Finals was Magic and Knicks.
I can
I think
confirm
Knicks on
that.
paper, yeah, Knicks on paper have the talent, but I thought to your point that Des Bain signing was the most important offseason signing. That guy, he brings what the Magic were missing, which is the three ball, and he plays with an edge. We're going to talk Dylan Brooks eventually poking the bear, but I think it's interesting Desmond Bain and Dylan Brooks from that Memphis squad. What I see, what I tangibly see now is those were the personalities that drove winning there, more so than John Triple J. Like
For
they
sure.
play with the edge, for lack of a better term, don't give a care. And I think Desmond backs it up. The Knicks should have won that game. The Knicks should be where they are on paper. They have the most talent. I think the Brown coaching thing, it's showing some signs. They're both getting a little better offensive efficiency, but their two-man game is still there, but they're spraying the ball a little bit more than they did under Tibbs. And when
Hmm.
you've got OG playing defense and Bridges, you've got great wing defenders with size. And Cat is kind of getting in where he fits in. I think it's a little bit of fool's gold, if I'm to be totally honest. I think the talent is there. I just don't know if you win a championship if your two best players are negative defenders in Cat and Brunson. As great as Brunson is on offense, he's just an undersized little dude, and I think you can pick on him in defense. Cat's kind of showing a little defensive prowess. I'll give him that. But I don't think in a 7-game series you're going to see that throughout. So I'm excited to see the Spurs matchup for that reason. I hope the Spurs can attack those things. I guess my last thought on the Knicks a little bit is like, if they are going to win, like it starts now. Like you got to the Eastern Conference Finals. You had a pretty incredible playoffs up to that point, and then the Pacers punked you. And if you're the garden going fan, like you need to start winning something. You need to hang something up. I've heard jokes. This is not hanging a banner in the cup; it's hanging a ribbon. I think Tim McMahon always says that.
I like that. That's good.
That's a good line. But like, frankly, like if you are the team in the East, like show out and get this thing done. And that's where I'd lean now, Wally. I'm sure that's where you're going next. I don't think they are going to win the championship. They should. They have.
We're talking cup or NBA championship?
Just cup for now. They're definitely not winning the NBA championship.
I am on the record on the back of this sheet, so we're about to find out.
Okay, all right. Who do you got? Jump there if you want to wrap anything there. And
well, I was just gonna say just briefly, because we could talk the matchup because that is the matchup, but just go into that second semifinal. I mean,
oh yes,
wow.
Yeah, sorry, jumped you. Yeah, what a game!
Wow, what a game, man! And Wemby, like right now, I think you got two guys. Based on all the conversations that you and I have had, that you really key in on, and that would be, of course, your guy Nikola Jokic, and then Wemby. I mean, just unbelievable. First of all, I think the Thunder could have won that game.
Yeah,
I think they kind of took that they took those Spurs for granted a little bit after that first quarter. But Wemby, man, that dude, just. Wow.
To be plus 20.
What a performance.
To be plus 20 in 7 minutes in the first half, that's ungodly. Like that doesn't happen in plus minus isn't everything for sure, but like his minutes were everything.
He changed the game in 5 minutes.
I would almost argue, Wally, what Castle did against your Gems, Wemby took up a notch then against OKC, the best team, the team all the pundits are saying, oh, is this team ever going to lose? They're going to the championship. This is easy. This is cakewalk. And that's the beauty of hoops. And what we have is like, there's always something. I sent this meme way too much, I think, to you. Life finds a way, and basketball is no different, right? Like there is too much talent, and as good as OKC is across the board, and they are, and their superpower is defense. If you can match their athleticism with young legs, and with a guy like Castle and Wemby and Dylan Harper and even Fox, and just throwing punches like
definitely Fox is huge for them.
They're as susceptible as anybody. I mean they are, and they. Even you can say that OKC could have won that game. They for sure could have, but the Spurs didn't play a perfect game either. They were ugly in spots. Like Castle had 3 pick-6 turnovers where he's passing out at the top of the key for an easy Cason Wallace run out. But the resilience the Spurs show behind Wemby, the confidence, they've won without him. They've won without Castle, and now you bring those guys into the mix. And like, I guess my only fear is health for Wemby. A, B, like, can they continue to surge? Are they peaking at this point, or like is there more to be seen? And that's what's exciting about this championship. But and conversely, I guess, Wally, it could be a positive for OKC. Like this happened in the cup last year.
I agree with that.
But like at the same time, like if we're talking like this is the team, I mean, you tell me, dude, like Chet head to head. Did you see that play where he's shaking? He's giving his bag.
Yes.
Wemby waits patiently, finds the block. Yeah. I mean, like that's your dude. And then what Castle did to Shea, I think two dudes in this whole league can do that. Amen Thompson and Stephon Castle. Those are the best two-way young defenders. Cason Wallace, who is his teammate, doesn't have the offensive bag or the size, but defensively, I think is in that combo. It's special, man. Like this is a very special group, and it's gonna be fun. Like the state of Texas is gonna be fun to see them battle OKC.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting as we talk about this, I'm thinking to myself, because obviously, Greg Popovich, for health reasons is no longer the coach. He's still very much involved in the organization. But, as I'm thinking about this, as we talk about it, what OKC is trying to put together, and obviously they've gotten that first championship under their belt. It's a little reminiscent of those Timmy Duncan Spurs, really strong culture.
You're saying OKC is, or this Spurs team?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. But the Spurs,
Yep.
organizationally, they're right there. And Mitch Johnson, he comes off of the pop tree. So yeah, I think that's a team. Those two teams, I think, are going to be locking horns for years to come. As long as health stays there. But yeah, no, I mean, Wembanyama coming in, changed the game in 5 minutes. And, he was able to get enough of, his wind so that in the second half, he was really getting it going. And I think he played the whole fourth, maybe not the whole fourth quarter, but he played predominantly in the fourth quarter.
They were really smart with how they staggered his minutes. Like early on, like, well, is he going to play in this first half? But like to get that production in limited time and then have his run in the second half was you know, hindsight 2020, if it didn't go
Sure.
well, we would have been like, oh, what a
He
terrible
showed
move.
up,
But like,
man. That
it
that
was,
dude showed up.
but it was
That is
beautiful
a
coaching.
signature
Yeah.
performance by him in his early
Well,
career.
the other play is your guy, our former Jam Caruso, who single-handedly at his position guarded Joker better than anybody in the playoffs last
Yep.
year. He goes at Wemby, he gets one strip. I think they get a run out. Wemby comes back and they're giving him the ball at the nail and at the free throw line, which is fine, genius. Like, post the dude there and let him operate out of the middle. If you're in the middle of the court, you've broken down the defense, you've got spray out passes, you've got rim attack, like you can go any direction. So when they get him touches there, and Caruso slaps down, I think fouls him, they don't call him. And Wemby takes a dribble back, slaps down again, gets a lot of contact. He double clutches and then hits that fadeaway jumper. Do you remember that play? That
Yep.
was literally like, oh my, like, dude, because my argument a little bit was like, Wemby, focus on defense. Castle is lighting this up on offense. Dylan Harper's a bucket. Fox is a bucket. Like, just get in where you fit in, play defense, you're gonna be good. And then you see that, and you're like, the guy, I mean, like, you got
He's unbelievable, dude.
flowers. Man, like both sides.
He's
when he's
unbelievable.
going. Yeah, both
That
sides.
physicality, I didn't realize he had, I mean, if I take it in a sec, 8-foot wingspan, what are you supposed to do with that? What an incredible game. And, real quick, before we move on to this, because we definitely want to talk about this, because obviously right now, the whole trade talk in the league is Giannis. And I think, if there's a place for him to go to, really give himself a shot to win a championship, it's definitely going down to San Antonio to match up with Wemby. I've said that there's no way that Milwaukee does that without getting Castle in return. You
think Castle or Harper or both?
I don't think Milwaukee would take just Harper. I think they, if they could only have one of them, I think they go with Castle. I mean, the guy is the reigning Rookie of the Year. Championship player coming out of UConn. He just each and every time I see him play, he just seems to get a little bit better. But you've made the argument, and after watching that game, I really have been persuaded that no, you don't break that thing up, man.
I think you're right, dude. I think you're right. Yeah, it's two letters. It's two letters. N-O. Like, you want Harrison Barnes, you want Champagny, you want Vassell, you want like any others besides Castle, Harper, and Wemby, maybe Fox.
Yeah.
Then there's a conversation. But I think, dude, you let this ride. You haven't even seen these guys play together yet. You haven't let it took at all. So yeah.
That's a squad,
Giannis,
man.
It's a squad, and Giannis has rightful injury concerns. Like, and there's a limited time there. Like, you're in win mode now, or win now mode. Whereas Castle, Harper, and Wemby, it's the same timeline. If Wemby's healthy, like that's going to forever.
Of course,
be
all
thing.
of it is contingent on that. Everything with that team, but you look at what the Thunder have done.
Yep.
I think you have the right side of it. I think you keep your powder dry, at least for right now. If you're the Spurs, you ride out Wemby and those four guards. Vassell, my God, man,
He's
what
good,
a
dude.
monster game.
Well, Wally, that game we went and saw in Denver, I mean, the further I get away from it, the more I take this away. Like, Joker and his squad is up 18 in the third, and you're like, oh, this is over. Wemby's not playing. Castle's not, Castle's not playing. And you're kind of like, the others, Julian Champagny and then and Devin Vassell just went on heaters, fearless heaters, and then defense started to mount too. And like, that's what this squad is doing. They're winning these resilient games, even when they don't have their stars on the court. And that's when you have that's when you're scary. And like, this is what OKC does too, right? No dub, and you still win. But I will say this with OKC, they have never won without Shea on the court. And I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but
Shea.
I think so too.
As opposed to what the Spurs did when you
correct. That's my point. And then if we take it a step further, I'll ask you this. Has Houston shown their cards as being all in now? And do they need to make the deal because they do have KD, which is, time sensitive? Like, is that the difference? And like, are they who are going after Yanni because they've got an aged KD and this is their window? And then is it Alpi? Is it Amen? What do you give up there?
It's at the very minimum. Thompson at the very minimum.
And I don't think I do that.
Şengün's really good. I like Şengün. He's really good, but I don't know. I don't think he necessarily translates to any place he goes, whereas Thompson probably does.
I agree.
I don't know, man. The Rockets, I just don't. I see them being a mainly regular season team. I really do. They could make some noise in the playoffs, but they're definitely not getting past the Thunder. This Spurs team, not getting past them. If everything's working and they're playing well and they're playing smart, my my Los Angeles Lakers, that's their name. I think could definitely give them a real run for the money. But anyways, we could save that for
You're
another time.
well, I gotta
Yes.
poke you. I gotta poke the bear like Brooks one more time.
Dude,
Your
let's save the
gems,
poke. Let's say
your
I want to get to the poke. Let's just
your
delay the
gems,
poke a
your
little
gems
bit.
are gonna get it against the are gonna
Yeah,
get it
yeah,
against
yeah.
H
All
Town
right.
on Christmas,
Oh,
dude.
okay.
You'll
All
be
right.
singing a different tune, but
Yeah,
keep
yeah, yeah.
going.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what
All
Santa
right.
brings on Christmas LA.
All right.
But
Fair.
let's go ahead and talk about this.
Yeah.
So Spurs Knicks. I'll
Hit
let
your
you go
pick.
ahead and
Hit
start.
your pick and tell me who you got.
I mean, it's definitely
Oh,
the
okay.
Spurs, dude.
Wow. Okay.
It's definitely
Interesting.
the Spurs.
Okay.
I mean that performance
Mm.
against the Thunder, I think, is
It's pretty convincing.
it's a proof of
The
concept, if you
the
will.
Lakers performance wasn't bad. Wemby-less either, dude.
No, no, no. Oh, yeah. What in terms of how they played? Oh,
Yeah.
they crushed the
That was
Lakers, man.
phenomenal.
They
That was
crushed them.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show you that because when the Lakers did beat the Spurs earlier in the season with Wemby, who presumably
Yep.
was essentially healthy, Fox wasn't playing that night.
Interesting.
Fox,
Do you think Fox,
dude, he's key. Fox is key, man. He's one of, if not arguably, the fastest guy in the league.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty reliable shooter. And when he gets streaky, he can really be knocking them down.
Mhm.
No, I think Spurs take this game tomorrow because, like you were saying, Cat, great offensive player. He's got nothing for Wemby if Wemby plays the way he played on Saturday.
Okay.
The defense, I think, is
I
going
think
to hold.
you probably put OG on him, honestly. Maybe even
No, Robinson.
Maybe, yeah.
If the
Maybe
Knicks,
Mitch. Yeah. Maybe
they need to, if the Knicks really want to try to win that game, and obviously they got $500,000 per guy on the line here, right? They're going to have, because what they've been starting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Knicks starting five right now, you got Brunson, you got Hart, you got Bridges, OG, and Cat, right?
Cat, correct. Yep. You got Mitch coming off the bench. Yep.
I think, need to sit probably Hart, because I don't think you really can sit OG or Bridges
you
as
need to go
opposed
big.
to Hart.
You want to bring Mitch?
You got to go double big. I think you got to go Brunson, I suppose Bridges, OG, Cat, and Robinson. I think you need to have Cat and Robinson in for Chet and
or for
Hartenstein. Yeah, or scratch that. Excuse, yeah. I mean, just goes to show you. That's what I thought was
when they go to match.
When
they go to match OKC, I think you're onto something there, and maybe double big against Wemby is not a bad idea. Let's see. Let's put a pin in that. Let's see what happens. If Brown ends up going that route, I don't think he'll change it because he's made this.
I agree with that, but I think he's going to have to play Robinson some real minutes against Wemby because Cat has nothing for that guy.
I just don't think Robinson has the speed to deal with him. We'll see. Because
no, he doesn't. You're right.
Wemby's superpower is like he can now face up from the nail, and he can pass, he can shoot, and he can attack out of that. He did have that one attack. Who got the block on him? Was it Caruso or Casey Wallace? Maybe came across and got a nice block. Yeah, it was. I mean that, but that was like a once. It might have been Dort even. That was like a once in a lifetime.
It was Dort.
Yeah, that's like the play you have to make in that moment that a finite can. Here's what I'll say. Like, I'll say it again. The Knicks should win this game, right? If they are serious, if they are a contender with the experience, they have to start winning something. And the association always humbles us. I think the minute all of us start to get on one kind of like landslide, oh, the Spurs, they played great against the Lakers, they played great against OKC.
Look what happened to the Thunder.
Win this game. Yeah, that's when I think, and I don't want to pick against the Spurs, just to be a contrarian against you, I might say, oh, the Knicks are going to win this game.
Well, you did pick the Spurs.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I got to stick with that. But I would not be surprised, I guess, if the Spurs show some youthfulness in this game. Maybe Wemby's in foul trouble. Maybe Castle is turning the ball over, and the Knicks just get on a heater. They're hitting threes, and it's a 10-point game. I could see
Brunson needs to go for another 40 if they're going to win.
Yeah, he has to outshine you so much on the offensive, and that his defense does not show its face as being a negative. That being said, like, who do the Spurs fear defensively? Like, who is Castle afraid of? OG and Bridges, maybe. Like he looked. He's not
afraid of anyone. That dude,
yeah,
man.
Well,
he is
against OKC early. He was picking. He looked to me. I don't know if fear is the word or scared. He just looked a little shook, and he looked a little timid, I guess, to attack. And when he's downhill attacking, like that 360 that he finds in the paint, his ability to get in the paint with 2 feet and just finish around the rim. like at his age, this is pretty special. So I want to
It
see
is.
that early, Wally. I want to see like, is that guy getting downhill? And then when Dylan Harper comes in his minutes, is he getting to the rim? If the Spurs are attacking the rim and Wemby is on the court, I think it's probably Spurs. If he's in foul trouble and there's a little hesitancy from the guard play, then maybe the Knicks, their experience kind of shows face. But like, should be a fun game, dude. Like this is a good game.
Hopefully.
And to take it a step further, Wally, I want to say at this point, regardless of the outcome, the Spurs are a top 4 West team. Your Gems are getting bumped. So we go OKC
as it stands right
Denver,
now. I agree.
Houston, and tonight I think we've got Denver, Houston. That'll be a fun matchup to see as well. If you get a chance to catch any of that, I'd tune into some of that.
I don't know about the Houston bit. Again, depending on my Lakers play, but I hear you. As it stands right now,
they play
I can
defense.
see that.
They play defense and they rebound, and that wins ultimately, Wally. Okay.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on the championship? Anything else you want to see across the board?
Not really. I just, like you were saying, I think it's going to be a good game.
Yep.
And I think, in order for the Spurs to win, everything you were just describing needs to happen. And Wemby needs to, bring it like he did,
and then,
against the Thunder. And I expect him to.
The others got to hit some shots, right? Whether it's Champagnie, Vassell, Harrison Barnes, dude, was bricking. Like, that guy is feast or famine. I'll give him credit, though. Like, if you're going to have a vet presence in the locker room, like in terms of just human, he's a great person to have. Can he hit a shot when they need him to? Like, he frustrates me sometimes, frankly, but like, he's on in the fourth quarter, he's on the bench in crunch time anyway, cheering him on. I guess that's all that matters. And his numbers look really good. I liked what you said earlier historically about like, is this OKC team? I think you called them the Duncan Spurs. In terms of leadership, the congruent line here is like, your team follows your best leader. Duncan, I'll go to my grave, one of the greatest leaders, humble, changed his game, did whatever he had to win. With Pop, that was a dynasty. I think the next piece is Steph. Steph is the most unselfish, no drama leader that we've had. With Kerr, what they built, dynasty. OKC, I think with Dags, Shea, you have that same kind of like coach to best player thing. Are we going to have that with the Spurs as well? Is Wemby's a little possible. Killer? I wonder, and the kudos you gave the Spurs coaching staff, like it's been impressive, dude. It's been impressive their winning that they have done with the injuries they've had. So that was the last thing. I like what we have there. And you might say your JJ, Luka could be in that. Different personalities.
No. Trust me. Right now, if you're a neutral basketball fan, and believe it or not, I try to keep it objective.
You do a good job. You keep it 90, I wouldn't say 100, but you keep it 98.
I would. If you're going to give me some cards, to play with right now, oh no, I take the Spurs cards. I mean, come on, with that youth, with you talk about the unicorn of unicorns.
Yeah.
No, that and look, it's the same with any team. It's all about health. It really is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a good game tomorrow. But yeah, I think the Spurs have it. So to close today, because again, we know, we always see my thingamajig behind me back here.
Your banner, Lakers your ribbon hanging up there.
My ribbon hanger. Thank you. We have 17 of those ribbons, just in case you forgot.
Well, depends on which team you're counting.
Yeah, from the original Lakers. Land of 10,000 lakes. That's where the name comes from, and it's staying here. That was quite the interesting game yesterday.
You're titling the segment. You're titling the segment "Poking the Bear," right? You got to title it.
Sure, absolutely, sure. Poking the bear. I mean, I got practically the fur on me. Dylan Brooks, man, like
I like
that
it.
guy.
I love it.
That's no surprise to me. I just see what happened at the end of that game, though. That's why that's not a guy for me where he fits into that. You hate him if he's on the team you're playing. You love him if he's on your team. I would not want Dylan Brooks on my team. Yeah. He lost that game for them.
I was going to say, you think he lost the game for him?
He absolutely did.
The argument can be made that they were in the game because I think he's like 6 of 9. Like, he was pretty dang efficient.
Fine.
And he did just knock down a 3, of which Braun, I mean, he fouled him, dude. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, he hits him, he pokes him. It's this whole situation, Wally, shoes on the other foot, you switch their roles. LeBron gets that foul, which he did when Booker hit him on the wrist at the end. He got the foul there. LeBron gets in his grill and bodies him up was that third quarter when Brooks hits the
They had a
ball up
run in
of
earlier.
course. Yeah, yeah, and they both. I think they both got.
They were
teed up
both
there.
teed up.
So yeah, you're right. I mean, you can make an argument Dylan Brooks lost in the game. I would argue they're not in the game without it. And I guess I will always love the lesser talented goon, not afraid to mix it up with the star. You know, calling him
I hear
old,
that.
poking the bear,
Sure.
and like if nothing else, this Suns team that lost a first ballot Hall of Famer and an All Star off their squad and replaced them with players that aren't even playing is like sitting around 500 and they're winning some games because Dylan Brooks is on the team and of course Book, you know, but
Yeah.
how does the question I'll give you back, if Brooks put his hands on the ref like LeBron did, what happens? I mean, you know the answer, right? I mean, what happens?
Yeah, but look,
he's tossed on the spot and he's probably suspended, right?
forget about all of that, okay? Forget it, that all of that could be true, all right? What that idiot did after setting up his team, all right, to win that game. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Like for me, that's even worse than some of Draymond's shenanigans. You know, like
it's very Draymond-like.
it is,
yeah.
but like the game was there for them to win, and you like go straight up to LeBron.
Did Draymond lose the most important series of the greatest team of all time?
Sure. But this is the difference
with an air punch at the same guy.
This is the difference for me, though. That was in the midst of play. Dylan Brooks went straight to LeBron for his little chest bump.
Yeah.
When he already has a tee.
Give him that.
When get that little chest bump. Come on, man. That was
well,
trash.
He got hit with the same thing with LeBron earlier. Dude, here's the counter. You're not wrong on any of that. You're Dylan Brooks. You just hit a 3 on the guy that has almost cost you your career. We got to remember a little bit when Dylan Brooks went at LeBron and then he was silenced. There was word out there that teams did not want to take a flyer on that guy anymore because he basically punked out. Was the word. Then he
punked out last night too. By the way, he didn't show up for the press availability. All right, the punking out continues.
I saw that, and part of me is kind of like, is this the game he plays? Like, part of me, like, at least the thing. Here's what I'll say. I like consistency, even if you're an inconsistent player.
Consistently stupid, sure, absolutely.
Okay, so put yourself in these shoes. You just knocked down a 3 and you go up 1 on LeBron, who hit you on that. You tried to sell it, you fell down, but like I'm gonna be unbiased. Like that should have been it probably should have been a foul that was called. Okay, so you get up and you get in his grill and you give him a little love tap, right? I mean,
little love tap.
Yeah. And you get
practically a sumo move over there, man.
And you get thrown out, and they get a free throw out of it, right? But LeBron,
which LeBron misses, my
correct, and then he shoots a 3 and gets a love tap on the wrist, and he goes to the free throw line.
Foul.
And gets two out of 3. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Like if that foul got called on Dylan Brooks at the buzzer, you would have been pissed about it. I mean, like, yeah, it is a foul.
Okay,
like,
sure.
I just like that.
I pushed all that to the side, man. He won the game, and he stupidly runs straight to LeBron, like the little dog and the big dog.
Yep, he's letting him know that he's there after he hits the 3. A random night on Sunday, that should be a football night. We're talking about Dylan Brooks and LeBron. And
this is Hoop to Holler, man. This is the B-ball study hall. Okay.
I mean, I'm just glad we need villains in this league. We need all Dylan the villain. We need it, dude. And I think LeBron's quote said it too well. He's like, when we get between the lines, we compete. You know, like LeBron, I think at the end of the day is a pretty good level-headed dude. And as much as Dylan Brooks maybe irks him on the court like Lance Stephenson used to, at the end of the day, I think he kind of deep down respects like this guy tries to compete against me. You know, like, and I don't know. So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do. I agree. I just thought that was such a stupid way to lose a game, man. He went out of his way.
They could have won it if they don't call that foul. They win it. I mean, he did put him up on a 3.
Yeah, sure, fine. That's great. If he doesn't do what he does, they win the game. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. But always want to get a little Lakers in on here, man.
Wally, I think what we need to do, let's put this to rest. You and I need to do a virtual chest bump right here. You put your Han Solo up. Yep, there it is.
Boom. Not costing myself the game though.
How many push-ups do you got? Speaking of building up that chest, how many push-ups you got?
Man,
what are we at?
we
did 20 on each game, right? We did 20 on each game. What do we got, dude? How
No,
you
I
got?
never, no, I never committed to that. Check the tape. Check the receipts. That's a
Come on,
one.
man.
That's a
I'm
one.
gonna fight. I think it's in writing
I
or
will
audible.
entertain that. All right. How
I
about I
think it's
give
in
you 20
writing or it's
push-ups over
audible.
the course of 20 weeks? Okay.
So we got 20 from the Gems game, the first game. We got
Uh-huh.
20 with the Spurs over the Thundy.
Yeah.
So I think we're at 40, and then I think
We're at 40.
I got the
Okay.
Magic. Did I do the Magic as well? I think you didn't. Did you have the Magic? I don't know if you had them.
No. No.
Okay, so
I
we got
went as far
yeah,
as the
you went.
quarters go. I had the Heat and Knicks, so
Yep,
I had
yep.
the Knicks
So
on
you
that
got
one,
so there's another 20. There's 60.
and then I had the Lakers Thunder, so I had the Thunder on that one.
Yep, there's 40.
Right. And then I went Knicks and Thunder, and obviously the Spurs won. So, out of what, 8, let's see here, 2, 6 games. So out of 6 games, I called 2 of them correctly.
How many have I got, Wally? Am I 6 for 6?
You are 6 for 6. Yes, you are 6 for 6.
Say it with your chest, brother. That's a difference.
You are 6 for 6. Yes.
So that's a difference of 4 games
Yeah.
then. So we're talking 80 push-ups right now going into this
Yeah.
championship.
Again, this is all one-sided negotiation. Like, I've not agreed to any.
I mean, nothing like making a bet
I'll
and
work
then
on
backing
it.
out of it. Nothing
I'll
like making a
work
bet and then
on it.
backing out of it.
No bet was made, man. Check the tape, man.
All right, we
bet
will.
was made.
We will check the tape.
Suggestions were made.
Ribs knows the truth there.
Anyways, but
All
yeah,
right,
man.
brother,
Hey, dude,
this is fun.
you called this,
This is
and
luck.
I
Just
think
luck.
you're gonna call
Well,
the winner.
No, I think
We
the Knicks are
shall
going to
see.
win. The Knicks are probably going to win this game, and then we'll have that at least. But yeah,
No,
let's
I
check
think
in
Spurs got
afterwards.
it. We shall see.
We
though.
didn't get. I had a couple stats. Let me throw one last thing at you. then I
Yeah,
know
we gotta
gotta
get some
go.
more stats in before we leave.
There was one interesting thing that came down. It was like 90 percentile of 3 different categories: scoring, getting teammates involved in defense. There's one singular person in the middle. It's SGA. However, in the scoring and playmaking, there's 2 gems sitting up there, and this is the who's who. We've got Luka Reeves with Steph, Joker, Donovan Mitchell, Ant. Who else is in there? Brunson. Jaylen Brown and KD are sitting in that grouping. But in the middle is just SGA. And the West is it's shaking out, dude. It's really, really tight. So let's see how this goes. I'm looking forward. I think tonight, Denver, Houston is going to show something as well. So we'll talk about that next time.
Absolutely, man. It's great chatting up with you, chopping with you as always.
Oh, and happy holidays too. I'm sure we'll talk again. We got the Grinch up here, dude.
There you go. Awesome.
Han Solo and the Grinch. All right, well,
love it. All right, man. Till next time.
Till next time.
Peace.
Take care. Later.